Shushada!
Sniper Elite Resistance came out on January the 28th. Yes, I have got to a video game in its week of launch. I'm as shocked as you. I'm a big fan of Sniper Elite 5 and 4. 5 was released on the channel coming up to a year ago now. I will link. I've got a lot of time for Rebellion and their Zombie Army series, particularly Zombie Army 4. They know a good third-person shooter when they see one. Does this one do anything different to the series, and why is it getting lampooned a little bit? We will get to all of that. Let's first of all have a look at what we're looking at. I'm playing this on Game Pass. This got a day one release, and the old PC's working again, so we're at 1080 and we're on high settings, not ultra. I am managing just about 60 frames per second and VSync defaulted off, so keep an eye out for that one. It's highly likely that I will be reviewing this game on PlayStation 5 again. That is usual for me, because yes, I'm very happy with this game. This deserves a double take over on console, but the PC optimization, absolutely amazing. Remember Indiana Jones, the secret circle of Dial of Destiny, doesn't even work on my PC, it won't even run on it. Cheers for that. Now this is supposed to be a stealth shooter. You are supposed to enjoy its quite deep mechanics in that direction. I'm talking about really cool detection stages, loads of distractive items within the map like generators, smashing bottles. This could be billed as the thinking man's Castle Wolfenstein, despite how condescending that sounds. It's a great game. The updates to this engine are noticeable. It is a prettier game. I did put 5 on and have a look around, and things have been upped a little bit, but it's not bowl over change. They've stuck with what I think is the same engine, but have noticed a lot more detail on enemy animation, wound animation, and just general complication on what they're up to and what they're doing. There's a number of different stages, and they're great to observe.
Can't go home. I also can't stay here. I need to move.
I play this game. Now I know this is a little bit wrong. Like a third-person cover-based shooter, I am always not in stealth. So the icon system works as yellow, they're looking for you, red you're in combat, and ideally you want white all the time, so they're just not even realising that you're in the vicinity. I'm mostly yellow to red, and I'm sort of jumping from area to area, dealing with new things as they're looking for me on the old thing. So I'm always moving. I like that idea of the game, the urgency that people behind you are going to find out what you've done. But you can always hide everything, creep through levels really slowly, and be very meticulous on being undetected. So I think one of the points of the bigger reviews of this game that came out early is that the AI is a little bit oblivious to you at times. They seem so interested in getting to their point of cover that they will run right past you in broad daylight. Also, the close quarters button is way OP. You can do it near, wherever, behind. There's about a media radius on it. Even if they're halfway through something else, you will just interrupt that animation. I think there should be some sort of rock, paper, scissors with that. If you have an assassination, i.e. an individual, you cannot melee them, and that results in some hand slapping hilarities. Swinging back to the game's defense, there is a lot more machinery, vehicles, big trucks, and just massive Nazi war machine stuff going on in the background compared to the earlier games. This one is going full on with exposing you to big scary machines that can also be blown up, but not driven. I do also need to mention that the game does push online co-op quite heavily to you, always giving you that open lobby option, and there is a PvP invasion system, which I am not turning on. I got enough problems with the Nazis. What did initially attract me to the Sniper Elite series is that it's got some Hitman vibes, but it's in Nazi-occupied Europe, and you have these big generals that you've got to get to, creep your way through massive scary castles and buildings, and then shoot your target from a beautiful slow-mo distant shot. There is still some of that there, but they have blended it into loads of other things to do in that map, and that brings me to how long I was in those first 3 or 4 maps. Like 40 minutes, an hour and a half on one of them. Loads of secrets this time, even more blue icons and little yellow submissions, and that's something I got quite addicted to. I almost forgot that I was playing a Sniper Elite game. Now, I think the other point of contention with some of those earlier reviews is Jason Statham's voice. Now, this is a great selling point, don't get me wrong. I think it's brilliant having a gritty Brit talking to you the whole way through this game. But the problem is that the guy that is supposed to be the voice, i.e. the physical character within game, just doesn't look like a Jason type. He looks more like he should be voiced by the ginger one from the early Harry Potter films. He's got way too much hair to have a voice like that. You can hear baldness in a man. You need to trust me on that one. The mismatch is just like constant comedy. I thought it was someone in an earpiece talking to him from afar, giving him advice, but no, that is the face of the voice within game. There is a character, unlockable, that looks loads like old Cannonball Head Jason. So that one's a bit nearer the mark, but I can totally understand why people would find that just hilarious.
Certain to be spotted here.
And that swings me on to 2 points. Budget for this video game. Jason must have cost an absolute fortune. Unless that owner-founder guy's got some sort of arrangement with him, I think half of the game's spend must have gone towards a massive name actor like that. Would I have much preferred to see that money spent elsewhere? Yes. Totally. I could have done without that voice. Also, Jason Statham's isn't really synonymous with me with any sort of larger World War II roles. I see him more as an actor that puts crocodile clips on his tongue. Now, staying on that point of budget, I want to talk about the guns and how they are within game. They're absolutely joyous to look at, to use, to listen to upgrade. The history here is awesome. You can also have guest guns, which is a reference to picking up something within a map or level that you're playing. That's totally amazing. It might be a silenced SMG. It might be a top-end German sniper rifle that you've got like 12 shots on. You sort of pick up and drop them, and they do change your landscape a little bit against what you've brought out for that level.
Could have compromised the resistance and SOE.
I think the levels might be the selling point for me to a certain extent. Their variation, they have sort of covered the meadow, small cottage vibe with some of the earlier levels, but then you go to the dam and there's some massive industrial structures, and then you get even closer to the center, so to speak, and see more destruction, more tanks, more vehicles. It's a great ramp up, and it's the sheer size of them and all of the things that can be done within, and all the scores, times. That brings me over to some of the different modes the game offers. You find these little propaganda posters, well, they're not little, they're like A1, in and around the maps when you get through each level, and it will gift that as a standalone Mercenaries mode, like Time Attack maps. Brilliant, heavily populated, they're very difficult, high score, rewarded for stealth headshots. I had a lot of fun with it. There's also other variants on that include some of the online challenges. And talking of challenges, just swinging back onto that weapon thing very quickly, I had a brilliant relationship with that pistol and the pistol variants. There's so many amazing little attachments and things you can put on the grip and telescopic sights, but loads of the actual cosmetic stuff, giving it a cool skin or digicamo. Didn't have digicamo in World War II. Is all locked behind online multiplayer challenges. Rebellion, that is not fair. Can you fix that ASAP? This is me mucking around in a bunker with a Tiger tank outside, and there is a satchel spot on it. What I mean by that is there is a section that you have to attach something to and then detonate in order to take that vehicle out. You can't just sling a grenade at it. So that's fun, looking for the weak spots and trying to dodge the turret. As mentioned before, they have upped the ante both on the ordnance, what you blow up, and what tries to blow you up. That smoke looked good coming out the back of that Tiger, there's no denying that. And if you're playing this on a 9th gen console, can you tell me if this is looking the same, looking better, or looking worse than what you've got over there on the other side of the fence? Cue a Master Race joke, probably inappropriate as we're playing a Nazi game. I blew up a safe here, put some satchel explosives on it, got the long wick going, meaning it takes a while for it to actually detonate, and when it sat above it like a complete idiot thinking that the blast wouldn't go through the floor and take my backside off. How wrong was I? Slight saboteur vibes with some of the lavish rooms and hotels and conference halls that you get to creep around in, expensive sofas, shoot some Gestapo chief in the back of the head whilst they're having a cigar over a mahogany desk. We've all been there and there's loads of it. At the start of the video, I mentioned, is this game doing anything any differently from the previous games in the series? And the answer to that is a massive no, but that's a safe bet. That's kind of exactly what we wanted. Jason Statham, not so much. That wasn't a deal breaker for me, but keeping within canon on where you are and what period you're up to in the war, all of that cool retro equipment and lore surrounding the Resistance, as the name suggests, and it's a very cool angle for decent nuggets of story. A no-risk sequel with just slightly more polish is kind of what this is, and that is not a bad thing. Please put in the comments what Jason Statham's Second World War film I haven't seen, and let me know if you are into Sniper Elite 5, because that game is pretty epic. Check out the review and hold out for a PlayStation 5 standalone of this on the shelf, because I think it deserves it. It was Couch Coup. I will see you down there.
Au revoir, Shoshana!